Hey there folks, John here with Through My Lens, and today I'm coming to you with another photography related video. Today I'm going to be talking about my gear setup for when I do my local cars and coffee events and do car photography at these events. Now, I'm very fortunate that in the Dayton, Ohio area there are several cars and coffee type events that happen throughout the spring, summer, and going into the fall. Throughout those months, and several of them overlap when they occur, but I can generally go 2 to maybe even 3 times a month to these different events on the weekends. And I've been doing that for the last 3 years. I'm a car enthusiast myself. Fans of Through My Lens will know that I've been driving BMWs for a long time. I'm currently driving a 2022 X3M. So I like to go to the Cars and Coffee meetups and visit with fellow BMW enthusiasts, get to see a lot of other great cars, but also to practice my car photography. It's a lot of fun. And throughout these, all these different events that I've been going to, I've really been able to hone in on what works and what doesn't work when doing automotive photography at a Cars and Coffee event. I'm hoping to pass, along some tips, not only in terms of gear selection, but in terms of some other kinds of accessories and things that you might want to think about using, if you're going to be getting into doing automotive photography at Cars and Coffee events yourself. Now, the first thing to keep in mind is that typically a Cars and Coffee event is going to happen at a parking lot of some sort, usually outdoors, and cars will be pretty close to one another in the parking lot. There's going to be a lot of people around, so you really have to jockey for position, and if you're like me, you try to wait until a vehicle has as few number of people around it as possible before you take your shot, and you're not going to have a lot of room to maneuver. So again, that's going to really impact your choice of lenses. There's a lot of different lenses that you can use for effective car photography. A lot of YouTubers in this space will tell you that a 70-200 is a great lens for car photography, and it certainly is, but leave that lens at home. You're not going to have room to back up enough to be able to use a 70-200 at typical Cars and Coffee event. An 85 prime is another one that's can be great for car photography in general, but again, not at a Cars and Coffee event. I typically don't go really any zoomier than about a 50mm. More often, I'm in that probably 24-70 range. So if you're thinking about trying to pick up a lens, and a 24-70 f2.8 is probably going to be the best all-around lens for getting good shots at a Cars and Coffee event. They can be a little pricey, so a more budget-friendly version of that same type of focal length would be more like a 24-105 f4. And again, both of those lenses and those focal ranges are made by most of the major photography manufacturers. Canon, Nikon, Sony, they all make them. I generally always bring along my 24-70 in my kit, and in my case I really do like to shoot with 2 camera bodies. I don't like to change lenses, and I like to be able to react more dynamically to be able to get better shots on the fly. So typically one of my camera bodies, again, my primary is usually my Canon R5. Normally I'll put my 24-70 on that body, and then on my secondary body I'll put another lens for getting more artistic photos if the situation rises. Something with more of a wide open aperture, like maybe a 35mm prime f1.4. I've got a Voigtlander 50mm f1.0. Both of those come in handy. Or I might, if I'm thinking that I'm in a situation where I'll need to be wider than 24 on the wide end from the 24 to 70 that I use, I might even bring my 15 to 35 along with me. So typically I'm only going to bring about 3 lenses. My camera bag that I've been using, that I'm really happy with for these kinds of events, is this Low Pro sling bag. This is not the most up-to-date version, the newest version. I've had this for quite a while actually, and it's held up great. I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description box to the newest version of this sling bag. But what's nice is that it's light, it's very compact, and if you do need to change lenses or filters or batteries or what have you, basically you just flip this around. So, you know, in its normal configuration, the strap is in the front, the pack is behind you, but you just kind of flip it around so that this is in the front and it hangs then in front of you, and then you can hands-free kind of get in here, unzip, get in, do what you need to do. Get your cameras configured the way you want them, and then turn it back around the way that it was. Really, really like that. If you're using a standard backpack style camera bag, you can bring a lot of gear in that. A couple problems there. One, it's heavy. You know, ultimately you're gonna bring more equipment than what you need. 3 lenses is probably overkill. I do nearly all the photography that I do at Cars and Coffee events with 2 lenses. And you know, at the larger events that have more wide open space, you can be walking quite a bit with a heavy backpack. That's bad. But the other problem with a backpack is that they're very difficult to get in and out of on the fly. You pretty much have to take the backpack off, lay it down someplace, get what you need done, and then put the backpack back on. That's very time consuming. It's very frustrating. I just don't like fooling with that. This sling bag is fantastic for that purpose. So in terms of how I'm using these 2 camera bodies, how I'm operating with them, this is a Black Rapid camera strap, and I typically have my R5 on the Black Rapid strap, crossbody, kind of hanging to the right side of my body, and you'll see that connected to the strap I have this Ulanzi Falcam F38 quick deployment system. I use this in my studio, on all my tripods, all my attachment points, have one of these on it so I can quickly, using the quick release system, move from straps to tripods to clips if I need to. I have the Ulanzi Falcam F38 backpack strap clip here on my backpack. This is version 1. Got a review on throughmylens.org that shows both the version 1 and the version 2 of this backpack clip. I'll put a link to that as well in the description box. I've got some interesting ideas there as well as to which one is better, version 1 or version 2. But the second camera body is going to be clipped to the strap here. And again, even with the camera body clipped, if I need to get into the backpack, I can flip the whole thing around. The camera goes to my back, this to the front, do what I need to do, flip it back around. It works out wonderfully, even with a camera clipped to the strap. Now, in terms of what I bring with me, it's really pretty minimal. A typical Cars and Coffee event is only going to last 3, maybe 4 hours, usually starting at 7, maybe 8 a.m., usually wrapping up. I think they normally advertise that they go to noon, but a lot of people start taking off 10, 11 o'clock. the beauty about these things that they happen fairly early in the morning. You can go, you can hang out with your buddies, you can see a lot of cars, and you can get back home to work on the honey-do list. And you're usually back home before noon. But my point here is you're not shooting all day. So I don't need to bring a ton of extra batteries. You know, typically I'll pack one. Don't need to bring a lot of extra memory cards. Typically I'll pack one. But normally the night before, I've got all my batteries charged in the camera. I check them, make sure I've got memory cards in them. Everything is all set up. This is packed and ready to go. The camera, the primary camera, the R5, is just sitting here on the strap. The R6 is in here along with the third lens that I usually bring along, and I just grab this. It goes in the front seat with me, and I usually take off. Again, most of the cars and coffee events that I go to are maybe a 15-20 minute drive away, so I'm not driving too far. So again, I keep it light, I keep it simple. That keeps the event and the photography fun. So what else am I bringing? Well, I'm bringing business cards. In this zipper pouch here, I do have some business cards tucked down in here. And that's important because at these cars and coffee events, let's kind of pull this up so that you can see that I do have business cards in here. At a cars and coffee event, you're going to have several pretty well-heeled car owners who have pretty expensive cars. They may see you walking around with your camera gear looking pretty professional, and it's happened to me. You'll get approached about taking some photos of their car. So it's a way to drum up business. And if you post your photos, you do a good job. You post them on Facebook in some groups that get some visibility. That certainly helps maybe drum up some paid work as well. Cars and coffee events can be, if they're larger, like the Dayton one, they typically pull some corporate sponsorship. So, heck, you might get approached by a car dealership that's in attendance or some other corporate entity that is in need of photography. So even in this day and age, I do believe in business cards. A lot of people don't, but I do. In the main compartment here, just zipping this open here, you can see I've got one extra lens with me, so I've got a total of 3 lenses, one on each of the bodies, and then I've got a spare lens here. Again, the 15-35 I'm bringing along with me. Just depends on what I'm doing, what kind of photos I'm wanting to get, but often the third lens that I bring doesn't make it out of the bag. I normally can get everything done with the lenses that are mounted on the 2 camera bodies. So here's my R5. I'm actually using my R6 to record the video, and I've got my Voigtlander 50mm f1.0 here. It goes, it's normally packed in the bag, and then when I get to the event and get out, I normally get both of the cameras out. I'm putting the R5 on the strap here, on the black rapid strap. Again, it goes on very quickly and easily with the Falcam F38 system. Comes off very secure, very safe. And then the backup, the secondary camera body is going on the backpack strap clip, like this. And again, that's very secure. I'll show some pictures here of what this looks like with me, using the this sling bag with the camera clipped to the strap. It's a wonderful setup. What else am I bringing? Well, filters are very important. I'll bring a variable ND filter. This is important because, again, these events are happening in the summer months. Usually, if you get there early enough, you can take advantage of some morning light, and it's not quite so bright that you're going to run into problems with, some of your, higher quality lenses that can go wide open to, f2.0, f1.4, or even f1.0. Once it starts getting brighter, you're not going to be able to get the exposure that you want at the shooting wide open unless you use a variable ND filter. They'll be overexposed. So do keep one of these along. These can be really handy. I'm using the K&F Concept, their higher level professional series. These are the Nano X, I believe they call them, professionals. Very, very nice variable ND. I need to do a review of these, but again, you can when you rotate the filter, you can make it lighter or darker depending on the exposure that you're trying to get. You can see there that it's actually getting lighter and darker as I twist it. So very handy. A good quality variable ND is very important when you're doing any kind of outdoor photography. But even more important for automotive photography is a good circular polarizer. Again, K&F Concept, their X Nano series. Links for these will be in the description. If you're not familiar with a circular polarizer, again, this is a real necessity because on bright sunny days, glass on windshields and windows of cars as well as the hoods will reflect light, and those reflections will show up in your photos. You put the circular polarizer on, and much like the variable ND, when you twist the circular polarizer as you're focused on a car, you will see that the reflections on the windshields and on the hoods and things will just slowly fade, and you'll be able to see right through the glass. And it's a much better, more professional look when you use a circular polarizer. This is a real necessity when you're doing car photography. If you've seen any YouTube videos by any of the big car photographers, they will always recommend using a circular polarizer. But again, in terms of my loadout, I keep it pretty light, keep it pretty simple. Those are the main things that I typically bring with me. I'm not doing video in most cases when I go to these events. I normally just do photography. If I was doing video, if I was doing drone work, obviously that would necessitate a bigger bag. But I do these things for fun, and it's not just me there going to take photos. I like to go see friends that I meet. I typically only see these particular friends at these events. It's great to catch up with them. Sometimes we get something to eat, after the event. And I'm a car guy, so I like to see the cars. So again, I don't like the photography stuff, the gear stuff, to become encumbering or interfere with the experience. I do like cars and coffee events, and I like to experience them. But if you're wanting to get into doing car photography at cars and coffee type events, hopefully you found this educational and picked up some good tips. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Take care. God bless. We'll see you in the next video. I hope you've enjoyed this production from the Through My Lens YouTube channel. If you did, please click on the like button and do share the video on social media. If you'd like to see more content like it, please do subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and do check out Through My Lens at www.throughmylens.org.